I always end up yawning whenever I open my mouth. Hey friends, my name is Joey and welcome back to my channel, Gender Not Found. And today I'm definitely gonna record some more Guardian Angel later, but right now I just want to take a short break from that because there's this thing that I really want to do. And I'm looking at it on my phone because I couldn't find the Reddit question on my computer for some reason. Like, I tried looking up the question, I couldn't find it, and then I tried looking up the person who posted it, and it says he doesn't exist, even though it's literally appearing on my phone. So we're just gonna read it on my phone. Um, so today I'm looking at AskReddit, and today I'm gonna be reading answers to the question, "What is your worst poop story?" Um, as always, I'm not gonna be. Come on. I keep yawning. Okay, I keep yawning constantly, but like, okay. As always, I'm not gonna be like showing usernames or anything, but I'm just gonna be reading comments from people. I don't know if they want their usernames in the video, if they don't want their usernames in the video, so this is what I'm doing for now. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to the first post. I have two. One was spending a week in and out of Tijuana sewage water and contracting viral gastroenteritis at the end of Hell Week. It didn't hit till Saturday afternoon, but when it did, I shat the bed explosively. We'd ran something like 200 miles without much sleep the week leading up, so I could barely walk. Someone helped me to the bathroom and back and changed the sheets. By the third or fourth round, they were just sitting me in the showers on a plastic chair to shit straight into the chair with the shower rinsing me off. There were lots of other guys being looked after, and somehow I got left in there. I remember the liquid pouring out of me eventually turned clear. Meanwhile, I'm trying to stay conscious by drinking the shower water. I was probably in there all night before because it was morning when someone found me and brought me to the clinic for IV fluids and loperamide. I had nearly shat myself to death. Second one was medical training in the summer in North Carolina. There were dead goats basking in the sun all afternoon. Don't ask. And at the end of the day, we had to pick them up and put them in trash bags for disposal. I'm holding the bag open while another student tries to lower the goat in hindquarters first. He's holding it by the horns and lets it go, but it doesn't drop down into the bag. A dead goat is like a limp spaghetti noodle, after all. Instead, it flops over the sides and twerks right out of the bag. As the ass end comes out, it releases a beautiful arcing rainbow of streamy dead goat diarrhea right at my face as I'm yelling, "Grab it!" Goat shit in my eyes, nose, open mouth. I can't do anything but stand there like a scarecrow until they run over with spray bottles of alcohol to decontaminate me. Goats have all kinds of nasty STDs they can transfer to humans. Fucking horrific, man. Went from bad to worse. I hope you never had a third story. Third story. That second bit makes me want to projectile vomit. Holy shit. Actually, I think the first one was worse. Um, and this is just me, but I have I have IBS, and before I started taking fiber supplements, I would be on the toilet for like hours at a time. I could be on the toilet for like 2 or 3 hours at a time, just pooping and wiping for hours and like wanting to die and crying because I just wanted it to end, because I just wanted the pain to end, because I just wanted to stop pooping. I was always really sore and like it hurt to pee. Like when I peed, it would go down to my butt, and because my butt was so sore from getting wiped all the time, it would like really sting, and I would hiss in pain. Like it was really awful. So having viral gastroenteritis and also pooping in the bed explosively. And in case you guys don't know, I sleep with stuffed animals, and I don't want anything to happen to them. So if I like poop in my bed and explosive diarrhea comes out, then that could quite possibly end up on them, and I don't want that. That would be absolutely awful. But oh my god, I hate having diarrhea. It's one of the worst feelings in the world, especially when you're just sitting there and you can't stop pooping. Like I had an IBS attack earlier, and it was not nearly as bad as it was before I started getting fiber supplements. Like compared to what I was going through before, my IBS attacks now are nothing, and I can go like weeks where I'm just pooping normally and not having an IBS attack. But I had an IBS attack today, and it for what and for how my IBS attacks are now, it was not that bad. It still sucked, but it wasn't that bad. But and the wiping, and there was all this liquid stuff, and like there was like when I wiped first, there was all this like poop just stuck together with mucus and kind of, just really runny and slimy and coated with mucus. But pooping over and over and over again sounds absolutely awful. Just ending up being in the shower, like crying because because you just want to stop pooping, and you literally can't, you literally feel like you're gonna die. Like, I felt like I was gonna die when I had those really bad IBS attacks. And yeah, they say they're trying to stay conscious by drinking shower water, and someone finally gave them IV fluids and loperamide. And also, just generally being left in the shower until the next morning because, they're busy with other stuff and having nearly pooped yourself to death. Like, oh my god. I mean, I'm not saying that having goat shit in your eyes and nose and mouth is, you know, a good thing by any means. That sounds absolutely awful as well. I'm just saying I've dealt with really bad diarrhea before, and that would be just awful. I hate that thought. Like, and I'm sure having like it's kind of like this would make a really good would you rather scenario. I even shared that as like a comment. I commented that it would make a really good would you rather scenario. So hopefully, yeah, there was a lot happening in this story, and it was really screwed up. Anyway, but God, I hope like everyone was okay. Um, and obviously, she's still alive, or they're still alive, so they didn't die or anything, but both of those sound absolutely awful. But as far as rather doing that, I would rather have the goat shit in my nose, eyes, and mouth. Just generally because, well, first of all, I wear glasses, so there probably wouldn't be much poop in my eyes. And second of all, like, as far as that only lasts, few minutes till they clean you up, and then, you get cleaned up and you rinse your mouth out, you brush your teeth really good. You're probably fine, right? You're probably going to be fine. And obviously, whoever wrote this comment is still alive. But the diarrhea, like that lasts hours and possibly days, because this person said that this was going on all night. So they said it was going on like all night, and so they said it was going on like all night, and they were left, and also just that being left in the shower bit all night without trying to stay conscious and wanting to stop pooping and just having this horrible feeling and nobody coming to get you, and then being stuck in the shower all night just pooping and liquid diarrhea, and eventually the fluid is clear. Like, that sounds absolutely horrific. And just, going for hours and possibly days with that, and needing IV fluids and loperamide and stuff like that. Oh my god, it all sounds awful. It all sounds absolutely awful. I just don't want any. And then someone replies to that Tijuana sewage shit usually makes the news every time it's an issue. I'm guessing they didn't care about that at Bud's though. I was a carousel on Nasni. Nasni. They did not. And then the original person replies, they did not. We had guys throwing up into their plates of food and continuing to eat it. We just laughed. Bro, I don't know what the F you do for a living, but change careers, my guy. I just genuinely can't even imagine what I'd do if shit was squirted all on my face and into my mouth. I have so many questions. You, sir, are a hero. Wow. Yeah. Next. Your first one had me some trauma. I had been really sick but wanted to drink beers with a friend over the interwebs and video game. So, 13 beers later, I'm in the bathtub throwing up and shitting myself. In that moment, I was glad to live alone in my shame. My cats know too much. Now Reddit fam does too. Wow. You've gone through hell. Can confirm about the goat STDs. Don't ask. Jesus Christ, bro. Thank you for your service, XD. Which is a laughing face. I'm smelling like the rose that somebody gave me on my birthday deathbed. I'm smelling like the rose that somebody gave me 'cause I'm dead and bloated. What's your third best poop story? Alright, man, you win. Fuck. Bro, that's nasty shit you went through. Hang on. What in the fuck, dude? Goats have all kinds of nasty STDs they can transfer to humans. Well, I learned something unpleasant today. I feel like this is somehow the Welsh's fault. Yikes, my poop stories tend to be more hilarious than nearly tragic. Glad you survived, that sounded terrible. You win. You win. After reading your first story, I couldn't imagine how the second one could be any worse. Yet somehow, it was. My condolences. Wow, that sounds bad. Also, drinking the shower water in Tijuana probably didn't improve the situation. Getting an IV after being severely dehydrated is a better feeling than an orgasm. Why were you spending time in and out of Tijuana sewage water? And what is Hell Week in this case? Were you in buds training or something? Don't ask. I am asking. Wouldn't there be some measure to prevent diseases? What the fuck do you do for a living so I cannot do that? These are all comments off the original post, by the way. Honestly, babe, I didn't cheat. I just got goat shit in my mouth. Oof. And my comment, okay, I found my comment. It's all the way at the bottom. This could be a would you rather scenario, and honestly, I can't decide. That sucks. I'm glad you lived. And I was like talking about the first one. They both suck, don't get me wrong. But the first one seems slightly a little bit a teeny tiny like the teeniest tiniest bit worse, like a microorganism worse than the second one. Like, I've had just awful diarrhea in the past, and yeah, that sounds awful. By the way, there's a lot of poop talk in this video, so don't watch this if you don't like that. I mean, you probably could already tell that from the question, but if you don't want to hear about poop and disgusting stuff and, stuff like that, then just don't watch this video. It's as simple as that. And, so, yeah. But regardless of anything, we're gonna keep reading. Hang on a second, sorry. Uh, okay, I'm gonna see what the next thing is. The next person's worst poop story. Took me a while to find it, but here you go. It's a bit long, but funny if you need a laugh. I finished having surgery and had a post-op appointment with my doctor up the hill. Had to go before that while driving up the hill. Figured I'd use the bathroom while in the office. I forgot I had to shit. Impossible as it seems. Well, I drive back down the hill when the bullet train hit my ass. I pulled over the side of the highway. Having no place to shit, I grabbed the only thing nearby, a thin, empty styrofoam box from Panda Express, on the passenger seat. Things were moving fast, so fast in fact that I made my first mistake. I missed the box. I had shat all over the driver's seat of my car. I had been on antibiotics too, so we're not talking logs here. We're talking full-on mud pie, split pea soup. It fucking filled the seat. I am doing this acrobatic effort not to dip my ass back in the mess, and I somehow open the car door. I grab my phone and pop the trunk. After slamming the car door shut, important later, I run bare ass to the trunk of my car to grab a change of clothes I had prayed for. Good thing I didn't make that goodwill run yet. God's joke wasn't quite over yet. Wasn't quite over though. I walked back to the driver's door to realize my keys are now locked inside the car with the engine running. So now to make matters worse, I have to call a tow truck to unlock my car door. Now some Hank the tow truck guy has to stare at the abomination that I left in my seat. I was mortified, and he just stared at me with such bewilderment afterwards. I hung my head and said, "It's exactly what it seems." I'm sure that tow truck guy had one hell of a story when he got back home. And then there's a TLDR, but we don't need that. But let's see. That sucks. Like and yeah, most of these stories do in fact contain diarrhea, at least the two I've read so far. I didn't read ahead. Like I didn't want to read, you guys know I don't usually like to read ahead without you. So I read I actually did read the first one that I read to you guys on camera because I wasn't planning to do this video, but I was curious as to what their poop story was. And when I read those two, I was like, okay, I gotta make a video with posts from this question. But it's so messed up. Um, and apparently this person's antibiotics can cause awful diarrhea, so that sucks. But in all seriousness, that that is awful. Like now your keys are locked inside the car. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's exactly what it seems. That's my favorite part too. I can imagine the shame in his voice as he says it. Jesus, I think I would have just broken the window instead. Indeed, giving myself this kind of shame. People have suggested that to me before, and to be honest, it never even dawned on me until that was suggested here. I probably should have just banged my head on the window hard enough to break it, lol. I cannot think of anything I'd rather clean less than broken glass-filled diarrhea. At that point, I'd just, trash the car and get a new car. Time to, just burn the car and get a new one, honestly. This. Break the window, claim that some rando broke into the car and shat the seat. Never speak of it again. I'm so sorry, I laughed so hard I almost shat myself. Dude, that is seriously one of the funniest things I've yet to read on Reddit. OMG, I'm crying here. Thank you for that. Okay. Alright, third story. Traveling rural Vietnam, and the bus station bathroom was perpendicular foot slats over a trough with water running through it. I absolutely was dying because of something foodborne, so I had to squat on the perpendicular slats while I shat my soul out in a trough with Vietnamese dudes literally rubbing shoulders with me doing their thing and giving me supportive half smiles. Ooh. I mean, the diarrhea is one thing, but literally having guys like shoulder to shoulder. Oh, that sounds so uncomfortable. I have autism and like I really don't like being shoulder to shoulder with people. Like I really don't like being too close to people in the first place or like people touching me without my permission. And everyone keeps talking about food poisoning, and oh my god, it sounds absolutely awful. And the first story was also viral gastroenteritis. I don't think that's foodborne because they said it was viral, which means it's like a virus, but hopefully I never get that, and hopefully I never get food poisoning because oh, that sounds just awful. That does not sound fun at all. I don't like it. Okay, I think we're gonna move on to the next story. I couldn't poop for almost 3 weeks. I was in unbearable pain and I couldn't shit no matter what I did. I drank coffee, took about 20 stool softeners and 15 laxatives, had 3 enemas, and drank a gallon of Gatorade with Miralax. My stomach was bloated and I was getting a bit concerned, so I went to urgent care to get an x-ray. My intestines were full of shit, surprise, and I was given magnesium citrate. The next 2 days I had constant diarrhea and I couldn't hold any of it in, and I shat my pants multiple times. Eventually my shit was pretty much just water and I finally got it all out. Minus 100,000 out of 10. Would not recommend. So what is magnesium citrate? I think it's that thing that you have to drink when you get a colonoscopy. I have bad constipation regularly, but one time I hadn't pooped in a week and was feeling really painful. Same. I took 2 magnesium citrate drinks, 3 Miralax, etc. Nothing. I finally took a stimulant laxative, biscoto-sodium, Docalax, and went to bed. I woke up at 4 and with moderate abdominal cramps. Went to the bathroom to wait it out. After 30 minutes, I was in 10 out of 10 pain, vomiting, passing out, trouble breathing, feeling like my large intestine was ripping itself apart. I was like this for 3 hours until I finally pooped. A big, long, hard, spiky poop, and then a bunch of diarrhea. I was shaking at my heart racing, sobbing. I had to call out of work because I was legitimately traumatized from the amount of pain I was in that I had to suffer through. Every single peristalsis was like my intestines ripping apart. My heart is racing now that I think my heart is racing now just thinking about it. Sometimes I think I have some PTSD like thinking about being that constipated again. I am terrified of Dulcolax. I will never ever take it again. Worst experience of my life. And then someone said, I feel your pain. But so that is so messed up and sad. Um That sounds absolutely awful. Like, I literally, do you guys ever get that feeling where you get, like, you can literally feel their pain? Like, you see something painful happening to someone's dick, for example, and, like, you can literally feel, like, the pain in your own dick, like that kind of thing. But, because I literally just felt his pain, and it sounds absolutely awful. And I've been constipated before, but I don't think ever to that level, and that sounds absolutely shit-tastic. Sorry, puns. But oh my god, that sounds absolutely the most horrible thing ever. Honestly, makes me glad for having like for just being on the toilet for 2 hours, having diarrhea, and then afterwards my butt was just a little sore, and because this guy was literally like, I just read it to you guys so you know exactly what was going on, and I can't even imagine being in that much pain. So makes me kind of glad that I didn't have to suffer through any of that shit. Like, it makes me glad that, like, what I've dealt with even before I was taking fiber supplements is pretty mild in comparison to these people, so. And then someone else responded, Magnesium citrate is nasty. It was part of a colonoscopy prep I did in the past. I could get all of the other stuff down, but I could not finish this stuff. Horrible. Ugh. Yeah, that's what I thought. A that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. It's colonoscopy prep, which, oh my god, I hate that. Colonoscopy prep sounds awful. Well, that makes me excited for my colonoscopy in a few months. Have had many, just had one 2 weeks ago. They're not too bad, but it's not fun. The prep is the worst part. Yeah, that's what I thought. If you don't have a bidet, they're useful. At the minimum, get yourself some top shelf TP. I think the easiest prep is the liquid stuff. You don't want powder. I think it's Suprep. You just slam 16 ounces plus 16 ounces of water, then drink 32 to 64 ounces over an hour. Pro tip, get a carton of chicken broth and drink it like tea. Helps with the hunger the day before. Those are good notes. This is all good to know, but I have baby wipes, so that's what I'm going to be using, when I have my colonoscopy, which hopefully won't be for another, I don't know, 20 to 25 years. I'm lucky I'm young and I don't have to do this shit yet. And maybe by the time I have a colonoscopy, like maybe by the time I have to have a colonoscopy, I'll end up getting like I'll end up getting like um I'll end up getting like um I'll end up getting like they'll have something better, like a better solution so you don't have to drink that awful stuff and like so you don't have to drink that awful stuff. Like, I don't know, maybe you just take a pill, but I am gonna ask them if I can just do I'm gonna ask you. I am gonna ask them if I can literally just, I don't know, take enemas or something, because that seems like a better option in this case. And then, to the previous comment talking about how magnesium citrate is nasty and they used it in their colonoscopy prep, and then the comment below that says, but it's lemon lime flavored, that'll help you keep the last bit down. For those of you who haven't played the colonoscopy game, the lemon lime is a suggestion of flavor, not an actual fact. It tastes like lemon lime salt. Oh, but this works great in margaritas, you might be thinking. That's not what I was thinking. This isn't a margarita, this is a shit your pants cocktail. The first 10 minutes will not be too bad, but by the end of prep, your butt will be sore, your sphincter chapped, your pants probably changed a few times, and you may have looked from your toilet to your bathtub and thought maybe I should just sit there. You'll also be retching from trying to drink the dregs of the milk jug prep container. It makes the scoping seem so small in comparison. Yeah. I don't care that they're gonna put a camera up my butt because honestly, I'm gonna be asleep for that part. So, whatever. But like I'm gonna be asleep. But the prep is the part that's really gonna be a problem for me. And I also have autism, so I literally can't like like yeah. I um I have autism, so I might just literally just not be able to do it. So hopefully I'm not like dying or something, and the only way to save me is to get a colonoscopy and to drink that shit beforehand. Because I don't know. I don't know, man. Ugh, yeah, I was constipated for about 5 days, and my stomach was starting to really hurt, so I picked up some laxatives, no effect. So I picked up an enema. I don't know why, but it did not agree with my stomach. Like, I was sitting on the toilet, curled into a ball, panting through the pain. I did finally crap, but that was the most painful shit I've ever experienced. Pun intended. This happened to me a couple years ago, but when I drank the magnesium citrate, it came out the other end for 3 weeks and I could not stop vomiting for the life of me. On top of being constipated, the grand finale happened when they decided I needed a colonoscopy and gave me Go Lightly or whatever it's called. That is the best thing ever. Wow, okay. And this is all in response to this one person's comment about about that awful constipation they had, and they had to take magnesium citrate. So, all right, I think we're gonna move on to the next thing, but there's a lot of comments here. Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of comments here. I can't even find my comment in all this. So, like, I literally can't even find my comment in all this. I had I had a note, I had a comment about how I'm really not looking forward to like colonoscopy prep or whatever, but now I literally can't find it because it's just buried in all of these comments. It's just buried. It's hidden. Okay. I think we're gonna move on to the next thing. There's a lot of comments here. Hang on. Okay, found another comment. My hometown had a poop-related crime spree about 10 years back. I'm from a super small town where everyone knows everyone and nobody locks their doors. Someone was going around and walking into people's houses, shitting an absolute log every single time and leaving it without flushing. Poor unsuspecting townsfolk would come home to a massive stink pickle sticking out of their toilet. This went on for 6 months, maybe a year. It definitely was the talk of the one bar we had in town. People started monitoring what other people ate, only in my hometown. Edit, we never found out who it was. There was speculation but never confirmation. Edit, wow, this really took off. So, a few things. This little town is located in the Midwest. Keeping doors unlocked and even keys in parked vehicles is not unheard of. Even entering people's homes to leave things on kitchen tables, food, and gifts was common. It was the giant turd calling card that had us all morbidly amused. No toilet paper was seen at the crime sites, but given the size and the consistency, it looked to be a clean slide and break. It did make some people lock their doors, but out of the kindness of some folks' friendly Midwestern hearts, they left doors open in case someone just needed a warm, comfortable place to poop. Yeah, we may viciously gossip and shit in each other's houses unexpectedly, but we tend to be surprisingly wholesome. Maybe we started out innocently with an angry husband challenging the family. Who the hell clogged up the toilet? The embarrassed wife in front of teenage daughter and friends. It must have been someone coming in from the house. Cue instant uptake of get out of poop shame free card by local housewives. A hidden heroin among among the soccer moms. Among the soccer moms. The immaculate shitception. Why am I reading this in Dane Cook's voice? Looks like we've got a serial pooper on our hands, boys. Notify the president immediately. A butler. All right. This is one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard of, LMFAO. Stink Pickle killed me. Well, don't just sit there. Tell us all who you suspected. Alright. Next. Oof. Alright, I think we're gonna move on to the next answer. I shit my pants once. I don't mean like a drizzle. I mean I full on shit in my pants. I was just clutching my kitchen table, whimpering no as it kept coming out. It went down my leg and onto the floor. I frantically cleaned up before my wife or brother, that lives with me, woke up. Blast from the past. Blast from the ass. Alright. Next. I've been waiting for this one. So last year during the pandemic, I worked as a preloader in a UPS warehouse. I worked there for a year and for whatever reason, my body trained itself to need to take a shit every day at 6 a.m. on the dot. Literally, I'd feel it coming at 5:45, and by 6 a.m., I was running to the bathroom. I can't remember why exactly, but for whatever reason, this shit in particular was beating its way out. And from where I was stationed to work, to where the cleanest bathroom was like a literal 3 minute walk, and I was struggling to make my way there. So eventually, basically in tears at this point, I make it to the bathroom and I'm faced with the staircase I need to climb to to enter the bathroom. So I'm halfway up the stairs and I tripped and stumbled down the fucking stairs and I shit myself. Full blown dookie stain shit myself. And there was no type of recovery from this vicious shit because it was 6 a.m. and my shift ended at 9 a.m. So there was no way I could even hide out and avoid people. So what ended up happening was I tried to wipe up as best I could. I had to throw away my underwear and thug out the rest of that shift bare booty in my sweatpants, hoping I don't smell like shit to anyone. If it makes anything better, I tried to lie about any lingering shit smell on me by telling my coworkers that I stomped in dog shit when I was walking to 7-Eleven. Oh my gosh. That sucks, dude. But if you know that you're gonna poop at 6 a.m., then why would you not be on the toilet like 10 minutes early? Or like 5 to 10 minutes early? If that was me, I'd be heading to the toilet at 5:40 and I'd be on the toilet by like 5:50, like 10 minutes early. There you go. And then the poop comes out at 6 and you're good. Although maybe this was before he knew like the schedule. This one got me. I can't imagine the absolute panic you felt when you tripped while running up the stairs. I think I might have just laid there at the bottom of the stairs until I got found and let everyone think I was more hurt than I was. It's not embarrassing if it's a medical emergency, right? That's actually a good idea. Just spent 20 minutes trying to read past stumbled without crying in laughter. They definitely knew. Duke is not reanimated life like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, beating its way out your big brown eye. Holy crap. I was on a first date with a chick I really liked. This is a bad start. And she was in my room at the end of the night, ready to make out. I felt the old stomach grumble and told her I'd be right back. Sitting on the toilet, I tried to release my shit as slowly and quietly as possible. As my room is right next door, I put on the fan and sink to try and drown out the sound with white noise. The first release is loud, like a fake fart noise in a joke. I remember thinking she definitely heard that. I slow down, take a deep breath, and try again. Another loud ass release follows. I let out a chuckle, and a violent burst of shit followed along with it. Then I held it again, listening carefully for any noise coming from my room. A second later, I heard laughing, and I started to laugh, knowing my chance with this girl was over. Every laugh had an accompanying explosive dump, and both of us were cracking up together through the walls. It was definitely one of the most audible shits of my life. 16 years later, I'll be damned if I didn't marry this girl and have 2 kids with her now. Oh my god. I love that ending though. And when you start the answer to a question, what is your worst poop story by I was at this girl's house, you know it's gonna be a good one. August of 2004, my dad and I went to San Diego. I'd never flown before. Uh-oh. I guess high altitude didn't agree with me because I didn't go for 3 days. Then suddenly it came. It was absolutely massive, over a foot long solid brick in this hotel toilet. Those little water conserving toilets stood no chance. So I opened the door and asked my dad to come here, 'cause I have no idea what to do at this point. He informs me he's not wiping my ass, so I inform him that this thing won't flush. He tries and laughs at me. I get the idea that I'll use the stick to break it up. He then reminds me, we're in the middle of downtown San Diego. Where the fuck are you gonna get a stick? He went to a Dollar Tree and bought a ruler so I could chop it up. To this day, if we travel together, he makes it a priority to show me where I can find a stick or store that would sell a utensil. Should have measured it. Sounds like at least 9.5 corics. Don't tell Bono. I absolutely love that one. I have used the cardboard from an empty toilet paper roll before. Can't believe I'm saying this, but poop knife? Best one. I'm literally crying right now. No joke. Need a poop knife, my dude. Oh my gosh. Alright, hang on 1 second, and then we'll get to the next one because I can tell the next one's gonna be good. Who am I kidding? They're all good. Also, I have a appointment at 4:30, so I'll be recording more. I'll be I'll be recording more in my room after that. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have to record in my room if I want to get done what I want to get if I want to get done what I plan to get done today, which I do, so I'm gonna be doing that. Why the hell is there? Okay. This looks like a long one. A year or so ago, I was out doing a long distance run and started to get the telltale poo cramps. These were the serious ones, where you're in a cold sweat, can't move, and feel like you cannot breathe through the pain. This happened during the first COVID lockdown, so no public toilets were open. Anyway, I phoned my mother and gave her a poo SOS. She came to collect me, but while she was en route, I was attempting a crab walk down a main road to meet her car, and it started to come out. This was truly biblical diarrhea, and I had no control whatsoever. Luckily, I was wearing some very tight running tights, so it kind of just stayed in the upper region, but the mass kept growing and growing. By the time my savior pulled up, it was like a scene from a horror film. It was coming out the back of my tights and was beginning to seep through the material. I was crying hysterically and weighed down with a vast amount of poo, which was still coming out at a rate of knots. She had a beautiful car, an SUV, with a cream interior, so we decided the best option was to lie the back seats down and place me on my tummy, lying on a bed and towels, looking like a dead fish. She took me back to her house and the big cleanup began. Shitting yourself in public at the age of 35 is pretty grim. Edit. Thank you everyone for your comments and awards. My sensitive stomach and I are very touched. A couple of people have asked the same question. Why didn't I squat behind a tree and avoid the public bowel evacuation? Honestly, there was nowhere for me to duck behind to go to the loo. It's a main road with houses either side, leading out to the next villages. My parents' house is about 0.5 kilometers, mine about 12K, from where the original poo explosion occurred. I innocently thought, being the boss of my own bowel, that I could practice some self-control and shuffle my way to their safe haven. Oh, how wrong I was. I phoned my mother. Even at 35, this is the moment you call your mom, no matter what. Hats off to your story. 10 out of 10, mother. Mom, I'm shitting myself. Say no more. Mom, it's happening again. I'll be right there, dear. This is becoming a regular thing, dear. One more word and you'll have no help from me in 5 years when you're wearing diapers again, Mom. Obligatory, and then there's a link to a YouTube video. Jesus, this is like a nightmare come true. I hope the shower survived the trauma it saw that day. Shower? No way, they're getting the garden hose. Out of everything in this thread, this is the post that sent me into hitching uncontrollable laughter. Thank you. I lost it at biblical diarrhea. Yeah, that was a really good one. Oh, wow, you had me until the end there. Oh, wait. It's in response to this person's story. Same thing happened to me while I was jogging in Central Park, New York City. Fortunately, my skin is a lot thicker, so I just found a quiet corner, relatively speaking, at Central Park. Pulled down my pants and let it rip. I even collected the leaves for the wipe after. I even collected some leaves for the wipe afterwards. It was all fun and dandy till a puppy ran up to me mid poop and started eating my poop. Ono in tow. It was the most awkward conversation I'd ever had with a cute girl. Oh wow, you had me until the end there. I had to get my dad to pull over on a busy interstate highway once. Dropped my pants and projectile shat on the side of the road. He started ripping pages out of a book and crinkling them up. I asked what he was doing and he said that the pages from the book were going to be rough as hell to wipe with, but if he crinkled them up they might be softer. I always thought that was mighty nice of him. Wonder where he got that idea from. The voice of experience? Most likely, he has lived an incredible life. I need to call him today. And this is how I met your mother. That'd be hilarious. Someone deleted their comment, so we can't read that. I think we're gonna do one more. When I was 19, I developed type 1 diabetes, went untreated for a while, and I got real sick and dehydrated. The dehydration dried my poop into a solid brick that just wasn't moist enough to sloop out the back door. Ended up taking some stool softeners, but that did nothing for the jam, but helped everything further up slide down and fuse into a cantaloupe-sized mass of regret and pain. After nearly a month of not pooping, I finally forced it out with a lot of tearing. My baby was too massive to flush, so I had to bag it up and toss it in a dumpster. Also hemorrhoids for a good while. OMG, this happened to me during my pregnancy. I developed gestational diabetes and I had horrible morning sickness and kept losing weight. The solution was to put me on medication that made me constipated. With the pregnancy, diabetes, and meds, it created a wombo combo poop monstrosity that took me hours to evacuate. The aftermath, I could barely walk because I had such bad shakes. My husband had to feed me water. It was so bad. Ha ha ha. That's terrible. I'm 4 weeks postpartum. My poops have been so dry and my butt is still sore from delivery, and I have a perennial tear. At least I'm not back up though. Haha, each pregnancy has its own unique trial. I had some hemorrhoids from that one situation, so going poop after my C-section wasn't fun. Thank goodness we have a bidet with a water enema feature. It made things so much easier. Oh wow, thank goodness that I had no idea they had enema features on bidets. That's so weird. And when I first posted about like wanting to be able to wipe properly a few years back, people kept telling me to get a bidet but I ended up getting baby wipes instead so that I could feel like I had finished it off. And that worked, and it's been going great. So, and then someone says, "Your baby, ha 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 ha," ha," to the original poop story. So, all right, I think I'm gonna stop there for now. I might come back with a part two because these are really fun to read and I love them. As gross as they are, I love them, so I want to read more. Anyway, I love each and every one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourself. Um, you're valid, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!